my dog has definitely learned the patterns because he literally, before I even said a word, he was on the bed and then he jumped out of the bed. I think what happens is this light over here, it is scheduled to come on at 7 o'clock. And of course, I begin the stream at 7 o'clock. So the light comes on and I begin the stream. I think he has learned that when the light comes on, I'm going to start speaking. So the light came on and he just got out of here. But anyway, today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. And if you are looking for a stream that is not currently talking about the passing of a very prominent right-wing YouTuber, then this is it. I'm not going to talk about it. I was a passive listener of his. I would like his videos would show up on my stream and I would watch them and I enjoyed some of them, but we're not going to be talking about that because I mean, while I do have opinions about it, this is not a political stream. This is not political. This is not, and we're not going to get political. We're going to talk about the only political party that matters, and that is the C# party. That's right. The Unity C# game party. That's all that matters right now. Let me go ahead and, I wanted to fix the chat room, even though nobody has showed up in the chat room yet. But if you are there, please drop a note in the chat room and let me know that I am not alone. All right, let me go ahead and change this. We're going to update this right there. We're going to change that. So we're going to put that there. Did I do this last night? I don't even know if I did this last night. But all right, there we go. Okay, the chat room is updated and Matthew is in the chat room. He says, he waves hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so like I said, we're not going to talk, literally, I went on my YouTube page and every single thing on there was about Charlie Kirk. Every single thing on there. I mean, granted, it came at a surprise. It was like I heard about it on my message board. Somebody wrote that he had been shot, and then of course I go on Twitter and I'm like, wow. So yeah. All I got to say is that the world is full of crazy people, lots of crazy people, but that's okay. We are going to get right back into where we left off last night. We're going to make some progress tonight. We're going to make some progress and honor a Charlie Kirk. That's what we're going to do. I mean, we're just going to make progress. We're just going to do it. All right. So again, if you are looking for a stream that's not going to talk about that assassination, then you're at the right place. Okay. So where were we last night? I think what I was trying to do. Okay. So we had two places where we would actually show the inventory UI. And then I was thinking about this today and I was like, what if Matthew's UI is actually what if that actually is something that I kind of need? Because let's say that I showed I think I'm getting a little too in the weeds because my mind was thinking, okay, what if I have a NPC's inventory up and I want to take something from the NPC's inventory and put it into mine, or I want to take something from my inventory and put it into the NPC's. That becomes, that would be a good use case to actually have on the screen two inventories, right? Two inventory windows, and then you could drag from one to the other. But are we really going to do that? I mean, I guess one way to do it without requiring, you could do it through menus, okay? So let's look at the use case of taking something. So if I want to, if I want to take something from the player and give it to an NPC, then what I could do is I could have in the inventory window, let me think about this. In the inventory window, if I hit the F11 or whatever key it is for inventory, and then I scroll and then it's I have a grenade, okay? And I want to give it to the green guy. I think what you could do is you could have it so there's an option give to, and then that gives you a drop down of nearby NPCs. Easy enough. Okay. So that's easy enough to give something to an NPC. And then now to take something of it in PCs and put it into your own inventory, that's even easier, because actually you could have the same drop down in the NVC's inventory, and then in the give to options could be yourself. So actually, I think we just solved that problem. Schizophrenic says, my message doesn't show up. No, it didn't show. I still haven't seen your message, Schizophrenic. I have not seen it. So I think we just solved the problem of having to have two different UI windows for inventories. I think you could have nice windows. We'll have that in the sequel to the game. How's that sound? We will have nice inventory, like drag droppable inventory windows like Matthew has in his game. We'll have that in version 2. We'll have that in the sequel, which is due to release in 2045, sometime around there, if I had to guess. Okay, so all right, so that solves that. I don't think. One thing I wanted to do, I did want to let me see, Balsamic. I think that's the name of this website. Yeah, with the kind of cartoonish. Balsamic is like a wiring tool if like Comic Sans was a wiring tool. That's kind of how I think about this. Can I sign up for another account? Let me see. Log in. I don't want to log in with Google. Do I have no choice but to log in with Google? Okay, let me see. Use another account. Let me look here. Why don't we use this account? Joe Kumia 59. Joe Kumia 59 at gmail.com. Do not ask why I have so many alternative email accounts. Well, actually, this is why, because all these different sites want you to like sign up and you want to try like a 15-day free trial. This is why. All right, let me put that in. All right, perfect. No, I don't want to switch to the pro. Matthew says, how about DayZ style inventory? I have no idea what DayZ style inventory looks like. Let's check it out. Matthew says it's basically one single inventory, but a section, and it shows nearby grabbable items. Yeah, I mean, okay, that kind of works too. Schizophrenic. What I was saying, Visual Studio Code is ruined for me. It has been infested with AI features that seem distracting. Thankfully, I have switched from it a long time ago. Anyway, I disagree. I don't think that the AI tools in Visual Studio Code are too overwhelming. I don't. Really, the only thing I really notice is that the what I've been calling like autocomplete on steroids, I think sometimes that gets in the way a little bit, but it's easy enough to press escape. Other than that, none of the AI, I have a guy, one of my coworkers, he is so I've talked about this before, where AI is really good at two different things. It's really good at developing overall architectures, right? Of like, hey, I want to write this app. How should I architect it? And AI is really good at giving you like a high level layout. All right. It's really good at that. And then also, if you have a very specific problem, like I need a function to write the Fibonacci sequence backwards and put it into a list without duplicate, like whatever, it's really good at like those very specific tasks. But trying to glue together the high level and the low level tasks into an actually cohesive project, AI is terrible because of the okay, the music's too loud, but it's terrible because of the context. It loses the context so easily. So that's where AI really fails. And there's this guy at work who is just constantly trying to marry the two concepts and then complaining when AI doesn't do it right. And it's like I've told him over and over, like, you're trying to have it do too much. It does not have the memory that is required for what you want it to do. But he keeps trying anyway. So I don't know. Schizophrenic says, yeah, the music is kind of loud. Okay, I lowered it. Let me know if it's better. Matthew says, where did it go? As I notice, you often see compiler errors in Unity, not the IDE. Regular VS shows this right away for me. So regular Visual Studio actually shows Unity compilation errors? Is that what you're telling me? Really? Okay, now I got to see this. Now I got to see this for myself, because this my friends, this might have me switch to Visual Studio. Let me see this. Where are we? We are where is this project out? Like I don't even, okay, this is, am I okay, I'm on the, oh wait, no, it's going to be over here. Okay, easy. I know there's a solution file. Okay, let's try this. We got Microsoft Visual Studio over here. Okay. Now I want to see this. Okay. So let's just type in garbage. Yeah, I wouldn't use Visual Studio Code for Unity development for reasons like this. It's so much more friendly for Unity projects. Okay. So where am I? No, wait, is that just a linter error or is that a compilation error? You may need the Unity extension via the Visual Studio installer. Okay, so let's give it, what kind of error? Okay, let's give it something that's not a syntax error. Like, I don't know, like this dot, no. This, oh my God. Okay, no. But see, I've gotten so used to certain shortcuts. I don't know that I want to give those up. Friendly NPC, like, why can't I? Yeah, this is going to be super frustrating. Okay, this is what I wanted. Let me try this. Let's see. This dot, I don't know. Compare. No, let's see. What do I want to try? I mean, just the fact that the IntelliSense just worked right away. That's kind of a. But then again, visual. So, like again, like I normally work on C++. Visual Studio, like Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio, they're both kind of not that. I mean, they're both okay for C++. But from what I remember, when I worked in C# a lot, I did. That was before Visual Studio Code was even a thing. When I worked in C#, I'm old, okay, but I do remember that the C# support in Visual Studio was phenomenal. It was excellent. Which, of course, makes sense because you have the language itself designed by Microsoft, who is the same company that designs the IDE, so it makes sense. Let's see. I am maybe just too Linux of a person. Microsoft products tend to want to be too helpful. They want the user to have MS's intended experience. Great example is this file extension pop-up. I'm stuck in Windows because of FL Studio. So I have my criticisms of Microsoft, but I've always said that Microsoft has written excellent programs for programmers. I've always, and it makes sense given the history of Microsoft, because when, like, in the early days of Windows, and you had those were like the same early days of Mac, and like they were competing, like those were the two, I mean, there were other operating systems, but those were the two major ones. And Apple was a very closed system at that time. Like, Apple wanted to write the software for Apple, whereas Microsoft wanted to encourage people to write software for their operating system, and which of course ended up being the right choice, I think, at least. But as a result, Microsoft put a lot of resources into designing tools to help programmers write software for their operating systems. Now, Apple eventually kind of realized, like, hey, we probably want to do this too. And then they kind of they started, it became easier to program on Macs as well. But I've always felt that Microsoft has always written excellent tools. And honestly, the one reason, like, I normally work on a Mac, and the only reason that, like, I continue to every now and then dabble in Windows, like when I do this stream, like when I do this stream, I'm on Windows. This is the only time I see Windows, is when I am streaming live. Otherwise, I work on a Mac. But the only reason I won't give up Windows entirely is because of Visual Studio. Like, every now and then I want the debugger. Like, the debugger in Visual Studio is still better than Visual Studio Codes. But I want to know if So what do I need? I need something that is I need a compilation error and not a syntax error. So that could be something like if type equals 2, then do this, right? Okay, like that. Okay. Is that good? Well, that actually, I guess a linter could get that because it's going to know type as a Boolean. Okay, so, okay. Well, it's not even a Boolean, it's a type. I need something that's a compiler error. Warning 2. I mean, all that stuff could be found by the linter. Okay, let me just find the extension, though. Where we go? We got extensions here. Manage extensions. I'd imagine I can find it here. Unity Code Assist Lite. Unity. What should I install, Matthew? I mean, all of these are written by, like, people. Like, Dark Daskin. Like, I do not want to write one. Tried Remedy BG. What is Remedy BG? Schizophrenic. I agree partly. Modern Windows is too focused on encouraging web development. Python, the tools are great, though. I just hate the Win32 masked as C++, even though it is C API. Well, I don't know that they mask it. I don't think that Microsoft tries to mask the Win32 API. Like, everybody, if you do any type of Windows programming in C or C++, you know the Win32 API is C. I think that they just have like a C++ wrapper for people that want to do C++ programming. And because what happens as a C++ programmer, if you have a C API that you want to use, you end up writing a wrapper for it. And so Microsoft just wrote one. I don't think that I've never gotten the impression that Microsoft, and this is like, I used to work in MFC, Microsoft Foundation classes. I don't even think MFC is still a thing. I know you can compile it against it because we still build it every now and then, but I don't think it's still a thing. But I don't think that they ever really tried to mask that. No, it's in the Visual Studio installer, not the plugin section. Visual Studio installer. Okay, let's try this. Let's just close this out. I got the Visual Studio installer over here. It's probably going to show a lot of personal information. Okay, modify, I guess, is what I want. Okay. Not sure is in the house. He says, hola, not sure. Okay, so in one of these, I guess there is a game development section, which I do have that installed. Is it one of these? I don't know that I don't remember ever seeing Unity in here. But I mean, I have the game development with Unity. Okay, so it is installed. Okay, perfect. I used to hate the complexity, but I think it's due to backwards compatibility. It is very impressive when you think about how you can take a binary that was compiled on Windows 3.1, and in some cases, not in all cases, but in many cases, you can run it on a modern operating system. Like, that's pretty goddamn impressive. Like that, and like, I think somebody did this with like the Notepad executable a few years ago with Windows. It might not have been Windows 10. It might have been like Windows Vista. But even so, like taking like the original Notepad executable from like Windows 3.1 and running it on Windows Vista, that's impressive. That is quite impressive backwards compatibility. Microsoft has always been very good about. That's one of the things another thing that I think Microsoft has been very good about. Now, I know that this is turning into a little bit of a kiss Microsoft's ass kind of stream, but I'm just saying that like that is an impressive feat. Apple doesn't even try. Actually, Linux doesn't even try. Like try taking an executable compiled on like EL6 and running it on EL9. Like, it's not going to work. So it like the backwards compatibility of Windows is pretty impressive, I think. I am semi-noob, to be honest. I don't like C++ just because of the monolithic keyword count compared to C. Nah. Yeah. You sound like a wannabe purist. You sound like, oh no, I prefer C over C++ because of the purity. The purity. It's just so pure. As a matter of fact, if it was up to me, I would be programming in binary, but my employer won't let me do it. Like that's what you sound like with the keyword count. What is like literally like up until C++ 11, the keyword count of C++ was like 50, 60, if that. Whereas in C, it's like 20, 30. Like, come on. Not Sure says ANSI C is the one true programming language. I want to see how far off I am with those keyword counts. C++ keyword count. And then C keyword count. Okay, so in C, the keyword count. Okay, so, this is telling me C++. Okay, C++, it's 74 with C++ 23 standard, okay? So in C++ 11, there were 74 in C++ 98, 84 in C++ 11. Okay, so let's just call it 70 to 80, right? And then if we do the C keyword count, C 37 and 47. So I was in the general area. I was in the general area. Just code and assembly, guys. Yeah, no. Like I said, I prefer to actually type out because assembly code maps to machine code, which maps to binary, right? So you could have a program that literally just is just a file. Oh God, this is another thing I don't like about Visual Studio is like, I want a new file and now I got to select the type. Okay. But you could literally just have a file that is this. Well, not that. Like, right? That's just this. And then what it does is it just takes this and then it looks at the corresponding machine codes, and then there you go. You have, it's not even real. I wouldn't even call it a compiler. It's more like a transpiler, right? And then there you go. There's your program. So if you ever seen, like, have any of you guys ever like gone down the path of looking at esoteric programming languages? There's one called Brainfuck. I mean, I think it's like called Brain exclamation point colon star whatever. But it's Turing complete. They have proved that it is Turing complete, but it's a Brainfuck. Okay, I think this is probably at Brain F. Yeah, Brain. So you have the online Brainfuck compiler. This is what the Brainfuck program looks like. It's just pluses and brackets and less than and greater thans and minuses and periods and stuff like that. And then this probably is like Hello World or something. Yeah, exactly. It's Hello World. There's another one that is all white spaces. I forget what that's called. It's probably just called white space, but the key symbols of the language are like spaces and tabs and new lines and carriage returns. And then I think it probably uses like some ASCII characters that are just, blank. So there's that. My favorite was LOL code, LOL code, which I thought was excellent. LOL code, and like I remember trying to add I think it was like trying to add like inheritance support or something to it a long time ago. I was playing around with it. But LOL code is very funny as well. Schizophrenic says, I have remained noob just because I have never found where and how to apply the concepts I have learned. I am, to be honest, purist. I admit I don't like modern software being so hard to run on low-end hardware. I don't like modern software being so hard to run on low-end hardware. Well, it depends. I think that's another thing that like people don't realize is like, like computers I don't know how true it is anymore. I feel like it's not as true as it used to be, but you would buy a computer and then over the years it would just become slower and people would be like, why is it getting slower? I don't understand. And it was because you were upgrading your software, you were upgrading the operating system, you were upgrading your word processor, your compiler, you were upgrading everything. And of course it's going to become slower because it's doing a lot more. And so just things like think of like IntelliSense. Think of how much additional processing power it takes to have something like IntelliSense running in an IDE. Like that would like IntelliSense came around in like what, the early 2000s, like that's when it started coming around. So like in 1990, IntelliSense would have been unheard of. It would have been unheard. So my point is that of course modern software is going to have more hardware requirements because modern software is doing more. I do agree with one thing you did say is about how Microsoft and a lot of development tools in general are very geared towards web programming. I do agree about that. I feel that a lot of them are geared towards web programming and mobile app development. I feel that desktop development is kind of becoming a lost art, where I think probably the only thing kind of keeping desktop development alive, there's plenty keeping it alive, but I feel like one of the main things that's keeping it alive is desktop gaming. Excuse me. So, but I do feel like I started my career at writing desktop applications, and I enjoyed desktop application programming a lot. I don't know why. I really enjoyed desktop application programming. But I do feel like it's becoming a lost art. Matthew says, have you seen the language that changes try and catch statement to fuck around and find out? That's awesome. Actually, I feel like you could just modify a C++ compiler pretty easily to do that. Fuck around, find out. That's awesome. I wouldn't say I'm a purist, Matthew says, but I get that. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I hate dependencies. Yeah, I mean, I get that too, but if you want to do anything slightly meaningful, you're going to have dependencies. That's just the nature of the beast. I am open to opinions, though. I might sound snarky, or something like that. I don't intend it. I like to hear opinions on this interesting thing. No, you're not snarky. You're not snarky. I was teasing you because I do not know what the programming world is like these days as a new programmer, like in terms of like new programmer communities. When I was starting out, like when bulletin board systems, you definitely had a very unwelcoming experience, like a population of unwelcoming experienced programmers. Like I feel like, because back then, like when I started out, you did not have Google. Honestly, even though that's how I began my programming career, I don't know how I programmed like without Google. I realize my frontal lobe remembers, well, yeah, you had books and you would download code to look at other people's code and you just did it with trial and error. Yes, I get that. But like the emotional side of me is like, how the fuck did you do it? I remember when my IDE, back in my day, but I remember when my IDE got undo. Like, I remember there being a time before undo. So I don't know what the point of that was. Let me see. But my point is you're not snarky. Lisa says, hi, sorry, you should be. God damn you. Lisa, I put you on the gosh darn thumbnail, and you can't even be on time. That's the last time you're on the thumbnail. You know what? Schizophrenic's going on the thumbnail tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be. It's probably just going to be like a mental patient, right? But no, I'm putting him on the thumbnail, not you, Lisa. All right, Google is a blessing and a curse. So much info, good and bad. Yeah, but I mean, it's really. Imagine trying to program. Well, I guess nowadays it would be like imagine trying to program without AI. But try programming without internet connection. Like, I feel kind of shameful. Like when I get on a plane, like I don't even want to really work. Like I don't even want to really work when I get on a plane, because, well, I don't want to program. Because out of muscle memory, I'm going to go to a browser and want to type it in Google, or nowadays type it in ChatGPT or Grok. Like just kind of like out of reflex, I'm going to want to do that when as soon as I hit a roadblock, I'm going to be like, oh, wait, I can't. I'm on a plane. I mean, yeah, I could pay for Wi-Fi, but I never pay for Wi-Fi on planes. Lisa says, I was having dinner with my dad. Okay, well, fine. All right, well, whatever. Okay, so let's screw Visual Studio Code. Well, I kind of want to give, let me see. Nope. I can't do it. I was going to say that I kind of want to give Visual Studio a shot again. Like, I know that this will let me scroll top and bottom, but you have to do something weird. You have to go to like window and split, don't you? Okay, new vertical document group. Yeah, like I can't just drag. I guess I could drag that. Okay, but wait a minute. Let me close these. Easy. Okay, if I've got this, can I just drag a copy? Oh, I can do that. That's not terrible. I don't hate that. Let me see. Will this... Okay, that's just going to keep that. Okay, so if I go here, and then I go over here, if I go there... Okay. But can I do... So... Yeah. Feature search. Friendly. Why does this search everything except files? Like, this is... Oh, no. Okay, code search. Will that search a file name? Okay, it does. That's cool. But why does it default to feature search? I want it to default to code search. Okay, default to code search. Stay on code search. Okay. No! I want it to be code. Why is it features code search? Stay on code search. Oh, come on. Control Shift F for search. No, I don't, but I don't actually want search. What I want is fast file open. Here's my favorite feature of Visual Studio Code. This right here. Now, with this, I can do certain types of commands. Now, I can also just type in file names. Like I love me some Control P. Like I love the P. I love me some Control P. But here, no, I don't want to fucking print. When's the last time you fucking printed source code? No. Okay, yes, I know you can change the key bindings. But there's not even that. But like this is the closest thing. Okay? Like I can live without having so feature search, I guess. But first of all, I want this dialog to default to code search. I don't want it to default. What is this? What's that? What's this? No, I want it. Is there any way? How with the keyboard can I get to Shift Tab? No. There apparently is no way to get to code search. None. No way. None. Oh, God damn it. Schizophrenic says, but when modem is on, when modern is on, then I get access to Discord, YouTube, and all that stuff. Matthew, don't forget collapsible regions. I mean, for whatever reason, Visual Studio Code does seem to have a problem with collapsing C# code. I don't know why, but it does. Damn, that code's so good, it's going on my wall. Schizophrenic, just open an IDE and make something with SDL. Should be healthy for learning. No. What is SDL? I don't even know what SDL is. Like software development lifecycle is make something with SDL. Is SDL like a programming tool? What is SDL? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's simple direct media layer. I mean security development, software development lifecycle. Okay. All right, whatever. Okay, I think we're gonna stick with Visual Studio Code, boys. I think that's it. Okay, and we got to get rid of this color. Like I can't do that color. I usually do change the color of the border because I like to be able to quickly be like, oh, this is wrong. Simple direct. Oh, is that like SFML? That's what it sounds like. It sounds like SFML. Peacock. Change to a favorite color. Let's see. Do we want to go? This is the hardest part. I kind of liked that. Now, I don't see reds, so I think we'll go with this. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. All right, boys. All right, this is good stuff right here. This is good stuff. Okay, so we solved what we were going to do about the inventory, right? We knew what we were going to do with that. I went to load up balsamic because I wanted to. Okay, yeah, okay. Suck my D. That's my space name. All right. I forgot what I wanted to do here. I think all I wanted to do was, let's see. No, that's way too much. We don't need all that. That's just too much. Browser. I mean, literally. You know what? I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay. So, what were we doing? We were trying to get the inventory UI in such a state that we could kind of pass it the entity of the thing, of the entity of which why can I not speak? We wanted to pass it the entity whose inventory we wanted to display. Yes, English, good. I mean myself, SDL3 is kind of like SFML. I did write, I did write a game in SFML a while back, and I enjoyed it. But I talked about this before. It ended up being less of a game and more of an engine. If you'd like to take a look at my SFML game, which is written in C++, I've talked about this several times where, like, it at the time, this was a very good showcase of what I could do in C++, but it would have been something that I normally would have put on a resume, but I couldn't put it on a resume because of the content of the game was very adult. I mean, like, literally the main character is going around the map searching for his magic vagina, and in order to do that, he has to, like, Lisa knows who this is. Lisa knows who Tommy Tucson is. Lisa is very familiar with Tommy Tucson, and she can speak about Tommy Tucson, but the subject matter of the game was not appropriate for a resume. Anyway, so, okay. All right. Okay, so what we did is we did have this inventory file, this inventory UI, which not sure was not here for. Not sure, more like not here. So, okay. How do we want to do this? So, we already decided we're going to have this show inventory where we pass in the player, this needs to be character entity, not game entity. Character entity. And then entity is what we're going to call it. Okay. And then, let's see. Oh my God, my dog is already starting. No, that's my bad. That's my cat. Okay, the cat's allowed to annoy me, but the dog, my wife gets back on Friday, and it's not a moment too soon, because I am losing patience with my dog. Like, I'm going to end up smacking that dog. I will not actually smack the dog, so do not react. I would never hurt my dog, but that dog is driving me crazy. Just the amount of times that I'll be sitting there trying to work, and then he'll just walk over to the desk and just do this. And I try to ignore him. I can't ignore him. It's just this. It drives me mad. It drives me nuts. I can't take it. He just sucks all my attention. I love that dog, but oh my God, I've been home for 2 weeks. When did I get home? When did I get home, boys? I think I got home on the 28th of August. So I think it's 2 weeks tomorrow that I've been home. 2 weeks tomorrow that I've been home. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go back to Cape Town and just like hang out in Cape Town for another 2 months, and then I'll come home for 2 weeks. Like that's not a bad idea. Like Cape Town for 2 months, home for 2 weeks. Cape Town, Bolivia for a month, Cape Town for a month, home for 2 weeks. Like I could get behind that. I can get behind that. But I like my wife, she needs to get home because I'm going to murder this dog. I'm going to end up murdering the dog. I won't actually murder the dog, but I'm going to end up like I don't know. It's driving me crazy. I can't take this dog. He's driving me nuts. Okay. So we have this player interactor menu, which is okay. We started doing some pseudocode stuff here. Oh, that's right. We were talking about a singleton. How do we want to do this? We got to think about this. Because okay, let me see if we get compilation errors. Like, I love the dog. Like, I do love him, but it's just imagine this little needy creature. You're trying to like do your thing, and this little needy creature just comes over to you, and he's just like, and you're like, what? And he just, and then another thing that drives me nuts is like, if I'm sitting here and like you realize how I've been sitting still, but if I do this, then he's like, whoa, what? We're going on. What's happening? Oh, this is awesome. This is like, I'm just like, oh my God, fucking chill. Fucking chill. I can't take the dog anymore. I can't. I love the dog. I love the dog. I do. I just think I would love him more if he had if it was more like an every other weekend kind of thing, you know. Like I just feel like, you know, like I could take I'd miss him, and then I could take him for like a weekend here and there, and you know, that would be happy. You know what? I'd even be willing to pay dog support. Like if I knew that Muan like was happy, like okay. Like when we travel, like when my wife and I travel together, or like she's somewhere and I'm somewhere else, the dog, he goes instead, he stays with his friend Tony, and he loves Tony. Tony's I think he's a little Shih Tzu, and then Tony's mom and dad, like the mom is like my wife is Thai, and Tony's mom is Thai, which is apparently all Thai people know Thai people. Like everybody in Thailand knows everybody. So anyway, but that's how my wife knows her, because they're Thai. But she works from home, and even on the rare occasion that she has to leave the house, she has a husband who, unfortunately, he had like some stroke a couple of years ago, so he's pretty much bedridden, so he's always home. So the point of that story is that when he goes to Tony's, there is constantly a human being there. And so Muan is very, very happy at Tony's. And he's so happy that like when I picked him up after I got back from Bolivia, and I picked him up, like he was like, oh, it's so good to see you. Well, it's been a nice visit. Be safe going home. Oh, wait, I'm going with you? No, I want to stay with Tony. Like that's what I feel is going through my dog's head when I picked him up. So, Fire Palace says, I am also currently doing something with SDL3, LOL schizophrenic. Interesting. Muwan needs a hobby. Oh, he needs a new home is what Muwan needs. Schizophrenic says, I like the idea of programming, but I don't know what goes wrong when I need to write something. So I feel like I've been definitely going through some burnout, which is why we have been making progress at a snail's pace with this game. And like, I could blame it on my day job, but like unfortunately, my day job has transitioned away from programming, and now it's like I always say that I used to program, now I program programmers. Like I used to program computers, now I program programmers. I tell programmers what to program. So I kind of am programming, but I'm programming through programmers. So, but the point of that is like I feel that like it's just gotten harder. It's just gotten harder to program because it's It's harder for me to stay focused. What is this? Boston next week, Tuesday, 6 a.m. Flying back to Boston, and Wednesday. How long are you back for? I am back until Thanksgiving. Yes, I am back home. So I am home until Thanksgiving, and I am leaving the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and I am probably staying until I am considering staying until January. Like staying in Iceland, that is. Although, as we were talking last night, I think I'm seriously considering going to Greenland. Like stay in Iceland for like 2 weeks and then go to Greenland for like a month. Like just because that's my happy space. The snow, the cold, the dark, the winter. That's my happy space. That's my happy space. Somebody's at, okay, just Iceland for Thanksgiving. Then I'll either stay there for a month or go back to Greenland. All right. Okay. Calm down. Just stop for a second. So the big question was this player interactor script, and then what would the item entity, I think it was, the item entity. Was it item entity? No, we would need an interaction menu on NPC. It was like friendly NPC, I think is what it was. Friendly NPC. Yes. Okay, there it is. View inventory. Okay. So basically this friendly NPC class and the player interactor script right here, these need to have some concept of the inventory UI. And I want them to have that concept without having to do that like Unity drag and drop thing. Which when you start talking about, okay, well, how are they going to get a reference to this thing without actually being explicitly assigned a reference to it? Well, I wish Razman was here because, of course, we're talking, you know it, you love it, we're talking about a singleton. Send good juju for a head of marketing role in Ruston for me. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is Lisa still there? I think not sure left. I think Lisa left. I'm interviewing with the CEO next week. Oh, okay. Oh. I misunderstood your message. Okay. So, but the interesting thing there is that now so we would go here. It would be under HUD, I think is where I put it. No, where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Excuse me. How do we want to do this? I'm distracted by a message over here on Instagram, so you're going to have to forgive me. I've been looking for 6 months. It's tough out there now. You've been unemployed? Oh, wow. I like the idea of program. Oh, wait. So, Schizophrenic, if you're still there, what do you mean you like the idea of programming, but you don't know what goes wrong when you need to write something? Like, are you saying that like you're getting kind of like writer's block or something else? I think we've lost him, but I would be curious to know what that is. Okay. Going to Boston with my boss next week. Oh, okay. Okay, so the inventory UI script is here. So, So we would need a way to display the UI to the inventory UI script has. There's no way. I feel like there's a trick here because this. I want to make this into a singleton essentially. Wait a minute. Let's see. I guarantee you there is a trick there. I just don't know it. Yeah, something like this. Let's see what the AI came up with. Inventory UI singleton. No, it wouldn't be a mono behavior. Wait, can you have a singleton? I feel like that would be. Maybe that is okay. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I'm overthinking this. So let's see. If we were to do, we had an instance that's like public static. Okay, easy. Okay, and then this is we're just going to call it UI inventory. We're just going to assume it's a singleton for now. We might rename it in a little bit. Okay, private. Now, in C++, you would make the constructor private. I guess you don't have, you don't have to do that, but it's a good idea. Okay, so what is this going to do? Oh, wait a minute. Isn't there instance? Awake. Private awake. Oh, okay. So it assigns it in awake. Okay, we can live with that. We can do that. Okay, let me see. Okay, so awake instance, destroy this game object, instance this equals this, don't destroy unload. I don't quite understand if instance is not equal to null, an instant. Oh, okay. So this is basically saying if somehow you're reassigning the instance, destroy the old one? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. If somehow this instance got assigned to some other object, destroy this? Okay. It should be a mono behavior. Yes, you can get away with instance equals this. It's only being used in one scene. Yes. So, okay. So, instance equals... Okay, so I guess this is fine then. Because we're instead of doing it in the constructor, we're doing it on awake, which is more or less a constructor. Well, it's not exactly a constructor, but sure. Okay, I'm going to assume that the AI did this correctly. Okay, that's promising. And then what did this do? So inventory panel. I guess we want right. We want to do something like this. Set active false. But wouldn't it be game object? I don't know. Maybe not. Okay. And then with show inventory panel active true. Okay. So inventory panel. I talked about this last night, how I feel like this pattern occurs quite a bit in Unity where you take a script, attach it to an object, but then inside the script you have a reference to the object to which you attached it. Like it's like some Inception, like circular reference kind of thing. I'm not a very big fan of that, but it's what we got. Okay, debug does not contain... Okay, I made that change earlier. All right, easy. Going to Boston with my boss next week. I'm literally just reading out loud private DMs I'm getting from a friend on Instagram. Going to Boston with my boss next week. I delayed it. I was just going to okay. So this person's talking about their U.S. citizenship test. Delayed it over and over, but asshat used to... Okay, she's talking about her ex-husband. So he will give her... Wait, but asshat used the op to get his cow... Okay, so this is a woman who I used to date way back in 2007, and then we just kind of we've remained friends. We talk once every 3, 4, 5 months, very rarely. And so she had a husband, and she hated her husband. So anyway, she's talking about how because she's getting citizenship, so he will give her citizen. So she recently, recently as in like the past 2 years, she divorced her husband, and then the husband like immediately got a new girlfriend. But the thing is this friend I'm talking to, like she's attractive. She's a little younger than me, so for a woman she's ancient, right? She's like 47, 48, somewhere around there. And she's thin, but she's Ozempic thin. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Like there are those thin people who have been thin all their life and they look like they've been thin all their life. And then there are those people who were heavy, and then whether through hard work or whether through Ozempic or whether through gastric bypass surgery, they lost weight. Those people that lose the weight through means other than never having had the weight, and people who have just naturally been thin all their life, they look completely different. They look very different. So she say, okay, but he will give her. So she's become very bitter towards her ex-husband. He said he would never become a U.S. citizen. I have property in Belgium and Poland. Belgium? I don't really share property in Belgium. Okay, so I think we lost everybody except Matthew. Matthew's he's the one stronghold. The one Matthew, he's my rock. He's the one I can count on. All right. So, we have, where did this go? This was over here. Easy. And then I think what we can do, okay, I think set active is fine with this. Like we still have the whole like hide the mouse cursor and all of that to worry about, but we'll worry about that in a minute. I think this would be inventory UI. Easy, easy. Instance show inventory, player inventory. Excellent. Okay. No, player entity. Okay. Now this should work. Okay, so I'm expecting to hit F11 and then it's going to show those scroll bars. I can't believe even Not Sure left me. What a jerk. What a jerk. You thought you knew someone. You thought you knew, like, I thought I knew him. I thought I knew Not Sure. And then what does he do? He up and leaves. He didn't even get to see the goth girl that Matthew added to the game. He didn't deserve it. He sends 2 messages and leaves. I know, right? Whoa, what is this? What happened? WTF? What? What? Okay, let's just try it again. Let's just see what happens. What? You know what? I added this do not destroy on load, and then I see it over here in the log file. So that signals to me something. Just for giggles, I'm just going to take it out just for giggles. I don't know what that's going to do, but let's just do it for giggles, okay? Just for the giggles. I know he comes in here, sends 2 messages like he's hanging out with us, and then he leaves like he's too cool. It's the last time I ever send him a gift basket. Wait, what happened? What happened? What did we break? Okay, this calls for drastic measures. Let's just go ahead and comment out the whole thing, and then we're going to comment out a reference to it. Where was it? It was in player interactor here. Okay, let's just see if this works. Don't destroy on load will bring the object along if you load on other scenes. Oh, okay. So I don't think that was the error. Okay, let me see. Let's just try this. Okay, compilation errors. Inventory UI cannot be found. Where am I referencing it? Oh, that could have something to do with it. But let's see. Let's do this. We'll go here. Easy, easy, easy. easy. I need to get a new keyboard. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, obviously that thing's showing when it shouldn't. So, okay. All right. All right. Let's come over here. Let's uncomment this out. Wait. Okay. So... let's try this again. You ever, like, get an error and then you literally just try, like, undoing and or you do something kind of trivial, like literally something as simple as like closing the document, reloading the document, and then it works. Like, and I've like, okay, this is good. Okay, so something here is screwing up. Like somehow it's like royally screwing up the like I'm not even okay, I am reference. Let's see if I remove the reference to show inventory, it's still going to instantiate it because awake is still going to get called. So let me make sure the error still happens. So the error, Matthew, it's saying something like Unity engine.transform has been destroyed, but you are still trying to access it. Oh, wait a minute. But you are still trying to access it. Wait a minute. I think I wait, I got okay. I don't think the problem is an update, but let's just keep narrowing down the problem. So obviously I think it's something here. Is it here? If you select the error, what is calling it? I'll look in a minute. It's a missing reference exception, but let's see. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, it's like in the debug HUD for some reason, like some debug code. Transform player, transform position, transform distance text, late update. I don't even know what this is. But the fact that it's giving me an error, like literally I could do this. Let me try doing this. But the problem with doing that is, with the problem with just commenting that code out, it still makes me nervous. Like I feel like that's just delaying the error instead of actually fixing the error. Okay, that did not fix it. Oh wait, I probably should have looked at the error. Let me look at the error. It's some. I mean, like it only appeared when I did that. When I have the. Oh, there is no error. That makes it even weirder. There are no audio listeners in the scene. Okay, I think I know what the problem is. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna undelete that. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna delete that destroy statement. Although it doesn't make any sense. Instance equals this. But that's the only thing that is doing any type of action that I can actually see that would cause that kind of issue. So let's look at it again. Let's see if that fixes it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a genius. So what was causing the issue was this destroy this game object. So let's see. This, in this case, is the inventory UI. The game object. What would the game object be? And also, this would get called if instance is not equal to null, meaning instance has a value, and instance is a value that is not equal to this. So wait, what? The object this is attached to. That's what I was thinking. So if inventory UI is attached to this inventory UI, I'm calling destroy. I'm trying to destroy that element. I mean, I can see how that would kind of confuse things. And then, okay, I mean, that makes sense. This doesn't make much sense. I fear something else. Well, no. Okay. I want to set a breakpoint here. Because I want to inspect this .game object. Not that I'm doubting you, Matthew. Maybe a little. It's like one of those things where, like, I'm not necessarily doubting you. Like, you ever, like, somebody who you trust tells you something, and you trust them, and you might even believe sincerely that they are correct, but you still want to see it for yourself, right? It's like that kind of thing. I know you know what I'm talking about. And it's not like a reflection on that person. It's a reflection on you. Okay. So if I run this. Come on. Oh, yeah. A breakpoint. All right. So this .game. Oh. Excuse me? Player, wait a minute. Base? It says that the player is the game object. Which I get why deleting the game object would cause issues, but I'm so confused as to why game object is player. Is there an extra inventory UI in the player object? That's a fair question. That is a fair question. Let's look. God damn it, Matthew. God damn it. You bastard. Right again. No, that's one of those things that comes with experience. That's one of those things that comes with experience. All right, so let's see. Okay, it works. Okay. Well, it doesn't work, but it doesn't break everything. Okay, so we have this inventory, and then we can probably put this back in as well. Easy. Easy. Okay, then we're going to come here. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking tomorrow night during the football game, I was like, you know, I do enjoy programming on this setup. And I was like, you know, I could just have the game here and then just work while I'm watching the game. I might actually do that. I won't be streaming because I'll get kicked off really quickly. But okay. So that actually works pretty well. Okay. So I really should do, let me see, instance, inventory UI. public. Yeah, that's what I want. Because what I want to do, because I have a feeling it's still getting somewhere in here somehow. Well, if I show the inventory, F11 is still being processed while the inventory is up, and I'm not sure how it's working, but I kind of just want to I don't even want to understand how it's working. I just want to preemptively just escape out of it. So if inventory UI dot instance dot inventory panel, I guess this is what I want. This is one of the rare cases that I do not require a bracket or open and close brackets. Is if the return, or you could even have like return true, return false, but as long as it's on the same line and it's not super long, then I will allow an if statement in its return to actually be on the same line. Or like, if blah, 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 x equals 0. Or something like that, then I will allow it. I will allow it. Let's see. Let's make sure I didn't break anything. I'm super curious about Visual Studio now. It's kind of all I can think about. I did that, but work made me add braces for just a return. Let me talk to your lead. Tell him to talk to me. He and I we'll straighten this out. Just let him talk to me. I'll take care of it. Oh. Okay. Same result. Okay. So we got that. Now what I so show inventory. Okay, so we still need to add the inventory to the character entity. All right, so where did I put it? I guess I can delete this. Item entity, I don't know what that's for. This is on the player interactor. Is that like the equipped item? That's a really bad pad. This is such bad code. I should be embarrassed to even show this code. I'm gonna uncomment that. Let me run this before I forget. So don't destroy on load. You said that will not destroy an object when load is called. But load is called before awake, right? Load is called and then awake is called. So I guess it's for a different scene. Yeah, I'm still not sure what that function does or why it's used. Ugh. It's a company-wide standard. You'd have to go to the top. Well, whoever the top is, I'll talk to the top. Let me talk to the top. I'll talk to the top. One of the things that comes with age and experience is you honestly do, and I'm sure you know this, but you honestly do begin to give less and less fucks as you get older, even with your job. Okay, so let me talk to him. Let me talk to the guy. I'll take care of it. Okay, so we still have things still work. So it's for scene changes specifically. Well, I'm not doing scene changes, so I'll just remove it. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to add the inventory thingy we want to add the inventory list object to the character entity. So I need to find this. It will be added to the don't destroy on load scene Unity creates for any objects that use that. If you load game scene 2, it will persist an extra loaded scene. I handle it myself by having a global manager scene that always loaded. That is always loaded. That's where all my singletons and services live. Oh. Okay, I see it for singletons. So you don't have to load singletons multiple times. The singletons survive from scene to scene. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Did I Did I destroy the inventory? I might have destroyed the inventory. I might have. And all that, it looks like I did, just kind of looking. Okay, so that's fine. I mean, it's not like the inventory is like anything special, right? It's literally just a list of item entities. Right? Right. Okay. So we want to add it to the character entity. This is a class. Game entity. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. But then we can have public list item entity. We can worry about max entity or max inventory size and all of that later. Okay, so now we have an inventory object that is public for the character entities. Got it. Okay. Okay, we got that. Excellent. So now on show entity, I think what we can simply do, let's just, for each item entity dot inventory, I'm not even going to do that. I'm literally just going to, I'm not going to bother with creating anything yet. I'm just going to debug it out. You ever watch that channel, Let's Game It Out? You ever see that guy? Oh, that guy's hilarious. But I'm literally drawing a blank on his name. He begins every video with, hey, this is Matt from Let's Game It Out. Hey, oh my God, what is his name? Hey, this is... I gotta know now. It's a freaking hilarious... as a developer, Matthew, you would actually enjoy this channel quite a bit. It is a freaking fucking hilarious channel. 11 days ago, but okay, I gotta see... Like, start with like his Sims video. It's ridiculous. He basically just takes games to their extreme.
Hey there, it's Josh. Welcome back.
Josh.
To Let's Game It.
Yeah. Hey there, it's Josh from Let's Game It Out. A fucking hilarious channel. I'm actually glad. I'm going to send myself a note to watch his latest videos when I go to bed. Let's Game It Out. All right. Oh, I might be subscribed, actually. Heard of them. I'll check it out. Oh my God, fucking hilarious. You would like it because he does a lot of things like, you know, like on a game, like if you can, I don't know, plant a tree. And then it's like, well, you know where this will take us. How many trees can we plant? And then he'll like, the way he edits the videos is really good too. And then he's like, yeah, I spent a little time editing trees and or a little time planting trees. Exactly 11,000 of them, and it's just like it's hilarious. So he'll just do all kinds of, he'll take games to the extreme, and he's not happy unless he can destroy the frame rate of a game. So it's a good channel. I think you would like. I like it because as a programmer, because a lot of times you can kind of see like why the program is doing what it's doing. Like as a programmer, you can kind of see it. Although it's not like you could go in and start editing the code, but you can understand like what's happening. So anyway, okay. All right. So we just have this easy. Okay. So what we could do from here, this is the player interactor. And honestly, this one should be really easy because this is the view inventory. And I think, you know, we're going to need a little bit more, but this will simply be this. All right. Now, let's see if this compiles. Of course, if we were using Visual Studio, it would just compile. Okay, the type name. Okay, that's just because we haven't put the generic thing using. There we go. I like to have the systems at the top and the Unity at the bottom, although it does kind of bug me that Unity is shorter than the system.collections.generic. So but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Okay, let's see if this compiles. Okay, it compiled. Okay, let's see if it'll. Oh wait, no, I don't have any code that will actually put anything in any inventory, not even the player inventory. Let's do that really quick. Okay, go. Nope, nope. Okay. Okay, so what we can do, so we go to item entity. I don't like that it's done in item entity, but we're going to live with it for now. Player inventory. I don't have to worry about that. Or do I? I mean, I guess I could. No. Is there any way to get the player? Do I already have the player somewhere here? No, I don't. It's a game entity, item interactable. Although now I have a keybind to automatically remove unused once, and it arranges them however it wants, so I just go with the flow. Oh, you're talking about the imports. I used to go shortest to longest imports. Yeah, I did too. I still do sometimes. But the thing is, I don't know that it matters in C# if the order of this does it? It might matter in some cases. In C++, it does matter in some cases. Like it usually, if the order of the libraries does matter, usually that is a code smell, right? At least in C++. I don't know in C#. It does have an order. System always comes before Unity entity imports. Yeah, that's how I do it. Doesn't matter. Okay, so the order does not matter in C#. Okay. No, in C++ it can matter. Because when you do, like in C++, when you do like an include, or if I could type, include, I don't know, hello.h, what happens is the contents of hello.h will literally just be inserted into the file. Obviously not into the file you're working on, and obviously it happens as one of the steps in compilation. But the contents of hello.h will literally be added into the file. So you can imagine that if you think of it like that, then you can imagine that order does matter. Whereas I know in C# that is not the case. It's more like assembly linkage is how you would think of it in C#. From what I remember back in the day. Back in my day. Okay, what was I doing? What I literally forgot completely. Okay, inventory. Yes. So we need to get the player character, the player entity. I'm sorry. I mean, I think I don't know if we need to stash it away. Yeah, find object. Okay, so we have the player right here, honestly. And why not? We'll stash it away. I think what we can do though is we can do private character entity, and then this will be player entity. And then player entity here. Literally we'll just set player entity, which is equal to player. What is it? Is it as? Is that valid C#? I mean, the linter seems to like it. I'm going to assume that's valid C#. Okay. Player entity. Yes. Okay. Matthew confirms that yes, it is valid C#. Okay. So then when we have the player entity down there, we can simply do, where did it go? Here we go. Player entity return. Okay. So if item data, we still want to do that. We don't need to check for player entity. That'll be redundant. Why is it green? Why is it green? Why are you still green? Okay, this .game object set active false player inventory add. Why is it green? Are you seeing this? Why is it? I'm going to close the file, and then I'm going to open the file entity. And it's still green. Okay, let's see if it compiles. It does not compile. Cannot convert type game object to character entity. Okay, so maybe it's a component that I need to get instead of actually just being able to cast it. Equipped item controller. Character controller. Didn't I put this script there? Script. Equipped item. Okay, did I put it on something else maybe? There's the player interactor script. I thought I put that. I thought I attached the script. I thought we had already taken care of making sure the player was a character entity, but maybe we didn't. Let me check. Let me look around. Okay, we didn't. The only three places that I reference character entity is inventory UI is commented out, base NPC, which is commented out. Wait a minute. Why is my search not picking up item entity? Four results in 2 files. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, that's weird. Now, okay, whatever. Okay, just no, wait, not just whatever. Now that makes me wonder what other things I wasn't seeing. I don't like that one bit. That's not nice. Okay, player interactor. Get component, character entity, F11. Okay, wait a minute. Where's this coming? Okay, this is player interactor script. Where's player interactor? Player interactor, I think, is on the camera. Yeah, player interactor. So this is getting it. This apparently is successfully getting a character entity object. I think I'm just simply not seeing this. Character entity, is it just not? Okay, it should be attached to this. Oh, well, wait a minute. Character entity might be player stats. Got it. Okay, so character entity is part of player stats, and there's player stats. So what I need to do is I think I just need to do this. Or get component, actually. Wait, item entity. Find object. Would it be player get can I do player get component character entity? Okay, I think that's right. Let's run this. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, I hit a breakpoint somewhere. Sorry, I was typing. Okay, so player entity, this dot player entity, this player entity. Where did it go? Base. Okay, perfect. Okay, it did get it. It got it successfully. I guess I could have done that instead of trying to. I could have just stepped through. Okay, perfect. And then we have. Okay. So wait a minute. Oh wait, let me attach. Oh, okay, is it attached? Oh, it is attached. And then I still don't like that this is green, but let's see what happens. So I want to come over here, pick that up. Okay. It hits the green. Okay, so it should do this. It should do this. Perfect. Okay. So it picked it up. And now I should be able to do F11 to. Okay, okay, that's easy. Okay, no, that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. And then yes. Okay, so it printed out the inventory correctly. Okay. Okay. That's good. All right. So we kind of got back. We have a singleton now, and we just need a UI with it. And I still want to know why this is green. It's kind of bugging me. Let's see if I can reset it. Let's try this. Okay, that did it. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, it's not green anymore. The green was really bugging me. It was really bothering me. Okay. So, how did we say we were going to give things to other players? Because I'm trying to think of that right away. I guess when we're viewing our inventory, one of the options, one of the items in our inventory will be give to, and then we'll have to have functionality that has like a drop down and it lists the nearby NPCs, and that's how you give it to a nearby player. Okay, that makes sense. So we need to do the part that I've kind of been avoiding, and that is actually going through and displaying. So let's get back to where we were on Monday night, I think it was, when we were actually had it displaying the poorly positioned buttons. Let's get back to that point. And that might be all the time we have for tonight. Okay, so, but I think we can get there. I mean, that should be easy enough. We had the prefab. We've already set up the prefab. We do have to modify the function we have, or the class we have, a little bit. So, okay, so what this was basically doing is when you added or removed anything to the inventory, it was basically updating the UI. It's just that the UI wasn't being displayed. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I guess we kind of want to do the same thing. Can I? How do I split this? Split right, and then move this over here. Okay. So we'll have an add item function because that's gonna. Well, let's add the refresh inventory. I guess the refresh inventory would be private. Private void refresh inventory. We're going to leave it blank for now. And then we will have this add item. We can do that easily like this. Here we go. Stop it, AI. Stop it. Okay, where did that guy schizophrenic go talking about how the AI is constantly bugging him? Okay, so let's see. So this is items add. So this would actually just be, I guess it would actually be this dot instance dot. Oh, wait a minute. Well, no, I should just be able to do inventory. No. Oh, wait a minute. No. We're not adding an item. We're not adding an, because there's, okay, yeah. I'm thinking about it incorrectly. So basically, we would be starting anew every time. So I need to make sure when we do show inventory, which is here, I'm going to move this to the bottom just for ease of use. Get rid of this refresh inventory because that's not even going to be used. So show inventory will basically do what refresh inventory does, which is, okay, so what is item objects? Item objects was, those were the instantiated buttons essentially, if I remember correctly, right? Weren't they? So we have the item prefab, the content panel, reference for the content object in the scroll view, and then the item objects, which are the instantiated items. And those will be a private list. Okay, track instantiated items. Perfect. Okay, so when we display the inventory, we will definitely, so we want to delete them. Hence, that's why we iterate through them calling delete. It is, I'm surprised. Well, I guess I'm not surprised. I was going to say I'm surprised that destroying that clearing the list doesn't destroy the items, but I guess it makes sense that it doesn't. Okay, so show inventory. So we go through, we clear any previously instantiated items. Okay. And then for each item in the inventory, all right, so I guess show inventory, we would actually just set it active at the end. We'll do that at the end. So for each item in the entity inventory, okay, we instantiate a new game object item. Got it. So we're using the item prefab, which is here. Okay. And then I guess the content panel would be the parent. We make it active. We update the text of the item. I guess that's what this is doing here. Okay. So text, new item, get component in children, text mesh pro AI. Okay, it's just, okay, just on a null check. It sets the item to the item data. Okay, that makes sense. Then we create a button. The button is a component, new item dot component, get component button. Oh, okay. This is just for the action. So it is a button. Oh, okay. The prefab itself is the button. And then we're assuming it has a button component because the prefab is a button. And then we add it to our item objects. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. Is there anything else in here that I think I need to do? I don't think so. So that should be done. Okay, so let's test this out. So we should be able to pick up the pistol and then see a button for the pistol in the list. Let's do it. I gotta stand up. Gotta do my exercises. Okay, perfect. Okay. Relax. Relax. Okay, let me see. Come over here, pick up this pistol, interact, store, F11. Perfect. All right. Excellent. Okay, a lot of this, I think most of this can just be nuked now. I don't think we need it. I saved it mostly for reference. LGTM. Let's go. No, wait. I know what this means. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Yes. Looks good to me. Okay. So let me check this code in. Let's check it in so we don't lose it. Did they catch the guy who shot Charlie Kirk? I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'm curious if they caught the guy yet. Because like I heard conflicting reports as to whether or not they caught him. It's just so weird. It's so weird that he's dead. That's so weird. He's so young. He's 31. Jesus Christ. Same age as you, Matthew. Aren't you 31? Damn. Okay. Inventory. Okay, so that's all new. This is just a bunch of stuff that's been deleted, right? Yeah. That's just all deleted. Item entity. Okay, that's just the new picking up functionality, character entity. What did we add to character entity? We added inventory to the character entity. So now everything has a inventory. Okay. Friendly NPC. So we did add, oh wait, it shouldn't, I don't think it does anything. I mean, well, no. Well, actually, the view inventory on an NPC should work. It's just that we can't add anything to an NPC's inventory just yet. But I should, let me see. View inventory. And then boom. Boom. There's still things we got to like I don't think I can close it. Oh, I can close it. But, there's still like little UI quirks that we have to figure out and fix, but okay, I can view the inventory of an NPC even though I cannot add anything to the inventory of an NPC. And then this is just player interactive. So this just okay. So we do have we have a fair amount of like UI and UI control work that we need to do, but that's fine. Okay, and new initial implementation of character inventory. Perfect. I want to see if they caught the guy yet. If they caught him. Did they catch him? Okay, a close ally of President Trump. Of course, okay, a person of interest was in custody, officials said. So it looks like they did catch the guy, at least. Authorities did not immediately identify the person in custody, a motive, or any criminal charges. But the circumstances of the shooting drew renewed attention to the escalation, the threat of political violence in the United States. Yep, it's getting crazy all over, man. It is. And like, there's just part of me, like my father, he grew up in this little village in remote Bolivia, in this little place called Villa Espacio, Bolivia, which is in Las Yungas, which is basically the mountains. Yungas, I think, technically means jungle, but it's not really the jungle. It's just it's just the mountains. Let's see if we can. If we go to Coraico, Bolivia, and then so Coraico is like the largest town that's nearby, but Villa Espacio would be right around. Let's see if I can find it. It's been a while. If I can find Yanakachi. Where's Yanakachi? Yanakachi should be somewhere on this road. Via Carolina. Oh, I don't know where it's at, but okay. So Camino de la Muerte road, the Death Road. So if you ever look up Death Road in Bolivia, if you haven't heard of Death Road in Bolivia, Google it. It's interesting. It's basically it's exactly what you think it is. A very dangerous road where you have mountain on one side that's going up, and then you have mountain on the other side which is going straight down with no guardrails. And like it's a small road. And literally buses, like once a year, you'd have a bus full of people that would just go falling off the road. I shouldn't laugh because it's actually pretty sad, but hence it was called Death Road. And they built a new road, so it's no longer like Death Road these days. It's really only used by like tourists and to get to little villages. But what I was getting to is, oh, there's Yanakachi. Villa Espacio, right here. Whoa, I was on the wrong road. Okay. Yeah, Villa Espacio. I'm surprised it's actually it's not only on the map, but it's bold. Anyway, so like my father has this house there, and like I'm likely going to inherit the house. And it's just this house. It just has it's beautiful, this like gorgeous view of the mountains. Just this like amazingly gorgeous view. Where is the I don't think that this is, let me see. There's a courtyard. Yeah, here it is. No, that's not it. That's not it. This is This is not it. Unless I'm turned around. Wait a minute, Matthew. Just give me a minute, Matthew. Wait a minute. I'm turned around. Because you come into the road, you come into the village. Wait a minute, Matthew. Just calm down, Matthew. Just calm down for a second. I got this. I got this. That's not it. That's not it. That's not Via Espacio. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's. I'm like 80% sure that's not it. You know how what you know where it. Wait a minute. Here, I gotta load up my. I do have to load up my Naughty Boy browser, but I'm pretty sure I have it saved. Mi casita. Yes. No, that's not it. That's Antarctica. It's going to take me. Wait, no. Here we go. Marcado sin nombre? No, no es esto. ¿Qué es esto? Okay, this is Via Espacio. Okay, I can recognize this immediately. This. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I can resolve this. Now I need to resolve. I need to resolve this discrepancy. Like this. Yeah, this is not Via Espacio. This is definitely not Via Espacio. This is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I honestly I don't know. Like this even has a hospital. Like this is. Yeah, the Health Center of Santa Rosa de Chacala. So yeah, no, this is not Via Espacio. This is a lie. So okay. So it'd be up. Here we go. Escuela Via Espacio. Okay, perfect. Okay. So my father, he has so this is the courtyard. The house is this house right here. Like this, I'm gonna circle it with the measuring stick, and then it has this little courtyard. So this is the house, and then and let me see if I can get the layers. Nope, that's not going to work. But it has. Oh, I can't tilt. Let's see. It's right here. Okay, this is Google Earth. Can I tilt on Google Earth? Yeah. So you can kind of get it because like you can kind of get an idea of the view of the mountains that this house has. It's just this gorgeous view of these massive mountains like on the other side. And so with all the turmoil that is going on in the world, like I will likely inherit this house from my father because if I don't inherit it, I will be pissed because I'm the only one that actually goes there. But so there's these two bedrooms in the house, and like you go out on the balcony and this is the view. And like when you go out like in the early morning while it's like still chilly from the evening mist, and then you see that fog over top of the mountains, and oh my God, it's gorgeous. So like my dream is to take like take Starlink down there, and then also because it does get a little warm during the day, so maybe in like one or two rooms of the house I could get like a mini, like one of the like mini duct systems, like, you know, or not, there's another name for the other than mini duct, but you know what I'm talking about, like the air conditioning systems that go up top, and then they had the one unit. So I could get like two of those installed in the house. I could get Starlink installed in the house. And literally, I don't even have to work, like, because the cost of living would be so cheap, and like I have enough money where I could live out the rest of my days there probably. And it's so tempting to just want to do that. It's just so tempting because it's just this beautiful, peaceful life with none of like people getting assassinated or people going to jail for Facebook posts. Sorry, that's a dig at your country, Matt. But you know what I mean? It's just go out there and just like watch cat videos until my dying days. It does. Like I could literally go out there and I could work on this game, and who knows, we might get it done the next 20 years. Like, you never know. You never know. It could get done. But yeah, this is yeah, these are the mountains. Oh my gosh. Matthew, okay, I feel a lot like programmers turn to nature to retire. I may also be inclined. I do enjoy nature and some gardening. I mean, yeah, just like the older I get, the more I just kind of want to go into the just going out into this area. I'm completely turned around. But it's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful and peaceful. Nobody bothers you. There's no noise. There's no. It's just like, I mean, well, so once a year, the villages in like South America, like, this is not a Bolivian thing. It's more like a South American thing. Like, every village has a saint, right? Like, saint this, saint that, and then generally each saint has a day, and so the day of the saint is an excuse to basically just get wasted in the village. So Via Espacio, they have a party every like August 15th, I think it is. It's like the 14th or 15th. And literally the population goes from like 60 people to like a few hundred people, because people, like, all the families, because a lot of these houses, people don't live in these houses full year round. Like, some of them, like my dad has his house, which like it's never used. It's pretty empty. There is a family that lives in this house, like right here, this brown one right here. My uncle's house is this one, I think. Whatever, there's a swimming pool. One of these houses has a swimming pool. But my uncle goes there, like, he spends like a week. My uncle goes there a lot. He spends like maybe a week every month there. And then, like, I have cousins that have houses there, but a lot of these are like country homes, right? They're like vacation homes. Like, the family will go there for like a week and then just hang out and relax, and then they'll go back to the city. So what happens on the day of the village party is, like, all the families come to the city at once, and then of course the friends and just everybody, and then they have music, and it's just a bunch of drunken Bolivians. And it's usually fun, but I feel like at my age, that would probably be the week that I leave and go back to the city. So, but yeah, no, it's a very beautiful, peaceful, just like tranquil setting, just very quiet. There's actually a video. There's actually a video about Via Espacio. And actually, in this video, so this woman who made the video, this was actually, as my dad put it, my dad said, this was my first girlfriend. And I think this woman who came to this village when my dad was like 15, 16 years old, I think that is what kind of instilled a love for white women in my dad. But my family, so she stayed with my dad's family. So, okay, this is her talking. Okay, that's the village. That's actually part of the village. And this is the woman and a monkey, I guess. Okay, Via Espacio. Okay, so we're talking about Via Espacio. Trying to get to the pictures. Okay, here's some Bolivians, some random Bolivians. This is the view. Very, very beautiful. Those are my grandparents. That's my dad. That's my grandfather and my grandmother. Betsabe Clore. My sister's middle name is Betsabe, after our grandmother. I never met my grandmother. She died when I was like 5 years old. I never got a chance to meet her. I did meet my grandfather once. He was not a very nice man. I didn't like him, but whatever. He's my granddad. Anyway, so Via Espacio, for whatever reason, not that I think you're going to watch it. I'm going to put a link to this video in the chat, but yeah, you get curious about Via Espacio, but that's where I'm like, oh. Matthew says, whoa, I wasn't expecting that height. Yeah, no, it's up there in the mountains. It's very nice. Matthew, can I join you before I get sent down for speaking? Yeah, come on. I mean, literally, you could buy a house out there for like $2,000, $3,000. Now, it might need some work. It might need to be fixed up, but it'll have electricity. It'll have running water. That's about it. I haven't watched this video in a long time. Anyway. All right, boys. Well, I think we made, I mean, you know, I think we did good tonight. Like we got a solid like 45 minutes of work in. You know, I wasn't too distracted tonight. I actually was able to concentrate, even though Lisa ditched us. Not sure ditched us. I mean, like I do personally feel a little rejected. Walk. Torturing my dog. Walk. Does somebody want to go on a walk? I hope my dog's okay. He's not coming to me. Move on. I think he knows I was talking bad about him earlier, and he's pissed at me. He's like, whatever. All right, boys. I will not be on tomorrow night. My Commanders are playing, so I will be watching the game, but I will be back. Friday's iffy. My wife does get home, but I have a feeling she's going to be very jet lagged and probably be going to bed at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So Friday is iffy. I will post a link. I'll put it on Twitter and all of that if I'm going to do it on Friday. But yeah, hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining, and I'll probably see you on Friday. If not Friday, then definitely Monday, and most likely over the weekend. But I'll see you soon. Who knows? It could be from a little village in Bolivia, if I'm lucky. All right, boys. Talk to you later. Bye. You want to go on a